Thanks for coming. NTSB Member Tom Chapman, and the spelling is C-H-A-P-M-A-N, will provide a update on the NTSB's investigation into Tuesday's natural gas explosion, and then he will take your questions.
Good afternoon. I'm Tom Chapman, board member with the National Transportation Safety Board, and I'm joined again today by our investigator in charge, Kim West. Today, we at NTSB completed our first full day of our investigation into the May 28th natural gas explosion in downtown Youngstown, Ohio. I'll be brief tonight, but we do have some important details to share as a result of today's efforts. I'll remind you that all of the information we're sharing is preliminary and it's subject to potential change as the investigation progresses. Much of our day today was devoted to conducting the workers who were in the basement and vault of the building at the time of the incident. The work crew consisted of a supervisor and 5 crew members. The supervisor was on site at least twice during the workday, but he was not present at the time of the accident, nor was one of the 5 crew members. At the time of the events, 4 workers were on site. The crew was engaged to clear out old piping and other outdated infrastructure and debris from the basement and vault area, which extends underneath the sidewalk adjacent to the building. This was done in anticipation of work to be done as part of a city project which we understand would fill the vault area and replace the sidewalks. The crew was unaware that one of the pipes in the vault was pressurized at the time, nor did the work crew have reason to believe gas was present in the pipe. As I indicated yesterday, it was an apparently abandoned service line coming off the main, which ran parallel to the street. No gas was smelled during the day as the crew was working in the basement. This indicates that there was no ongoing leak throughout the day. The accident sequence began as the crew made 2 initial cuts into piping along the basement wall. When a 3rd cut was made, the crew immediately realized that there was a problem and that gas had been released. The work crew evacuated the basement, alerted the bank employees upstairs, and pulled the fire alarm. We understand that at least one of the workers called 911. The workers were instrumental in alerting the residents in the upstairs apartments, and they assisted in helping to evacuate residents. Based on today's interviews and other available information, the explosion apparently occurred approximately 6 minutes after the pipe was cut. I also want to make you aware that we were able to obtain security video from the interior of the bank. Chase provided this to us, and I understand they were able to retrieve it from the cloud-based system in which it is stored. Consequently, it could be accessed without entering the building. Regarding the building, there are very serious concerns about the integrity and the safety of the structure. Consequently, access is not currently possible by us nor by anyone until appropriate determinations are made regarding its safety. That determination is outside our expertise and is in the hands of city, county, and state authorities. Questions regarding that process should be directed to those authorities. With that, I'm happy to take your questions.
You said that the workers were instrumental in notifying the people living in the building. Do you just mean the fire alarm, or what in what way?
No, it's my understanding that they were actively involved in helping to evacuate at least some of the residents, yes. I mean, obviously there was not a long time frame here in which to work, but they were actively involved in helping to evacuate residents from the upstairs apartments. Yes, ma'am.
So for once the fire alarm did go off, that also was an alarm for the Chase Bank as well. So those employees would be hearing that fire alarm.
We're still seeking to confirm that. I think that's a fair assumption, but we haven't established that yet as a fact, and that's partly because of the nature of the structure of the building. I think that's correct, right, Kim? It is our understanding, however, that they alerted the workers, the employees in the bank, yes. Other?
This is a question, or this is not a question, this is a statement, so, yeah, I'm assuming that, well, you already said that they alerted the employees. No one was active in alerting the residents. There's three of us here as residents. Yeah, so, like I said, I'm just making a statement. There was nobody actively alerting. I can't speak for the employees, but,
It was alerting the people outside of the building before the residents.
We completely understand that concern. We're still gathering information. I would encourage you to reach out to us, send us a note, send us information through our, remind me of our witness at ntsb.gov. I mean, we're looking for that sort of information, so please feel free to reach out to us, witness at ntsb.gov. Share the firsthand information that you have. We'd welcome that.
When you say the building is not safe for anybody to enter, can you elaborate on why you believe that?
Yeah, I mean, the structural integrity of the building is very much in question. And so until
In a particular area or?
the entire building.
Okay.
So, I mean, it is not yet known that that building is safe to enter. And that determination is going to have to be made by someone qualified to do so.
Such as
A building engineer, a qualified building engineer. Yes, ma'am.
How is that hindering your investigation if you can't access that building?
Yeah, it's difficult for all of it. Now, there's a lot of work we're doing, such as the interviews and that sort of thing, gathering photographic evidence. There are a lot of security cameras in the area, so we do have a lot of video and photographic evidence. We were able today to obtain the cloud-based video from Chase. That's very valuable. That helps us understand where the employees of the bank were at the time of all of this. So there is still a lot that we can do, but in terms of accessing the physical structure of the building, we're not able to do that until there's a determination made that it's safe to do so.
Do you know where the gentleman was who was killed?
He was an employee of the bank.
Right, but
It-
anywhere in the bank, just so you can see on the video or something?
I believe that that is possible. I've not seen the video myself. I think we're still evaluating it, yes.
So
Yes,
based on the events leading up to the explosion that you described, is it safe to say that it was an accident?
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing at this point to indicate that there was anything nefarious about what happened. All the indications are that it was very much an accident. Yes, sir.
I don't know what's seen the spikes inside our gas bill. Our gas bill was super low in March and then crazy high. My gas bill was $368.
Is your concern that there may have been some sort of ongoing leak?
Yeah, all defendants pretty much complained over a year time since the winter time that they've been selling gas in the building.
Again, please reach out to us, share that information at our email address, but we also will be looking very much at those sorts of things. As part of our investigation, we'll evaluate the records of usage in the building, because one of the things we want to determine was whether there was any sort of an ongoing leak or whether this was something, as is currently suspected, resulted from cutting this one pipe. But we'll certainly want to look at that and share the information that you have.
you're on the record, advocating a lot for, the Chase Bank employees. Obviously, somebody lost their life in Chase Bank employees. Is there any reason why you're not able to, or not able to, or just maybe just not, advocating for the residents? Because you said, there's been footage from Huntington, footage from Chase. There's also footage from Realty Towers. We have cameras on our building. We have cameras on our light fixtures. So can you speak about why there's no advocacy or cooperation with Realty Towers?
Well, it's not a question of advocacy. We are seeking to gather all of the available photographic and video evidence that we can from the area, and it is more than just the Chase video. We have video already from a number of other sources. We're seeking other sources, and we welcome that sort of evidence. So if there's more evidence that we haven't already collected in terms of video, we will certainly want to have that, and I'm certain that our people are reaching out.
My question is, you already have video evidence from, or
part of the problem with the tower is we can't access the building. That's the concern there. It's not a cooperation issue. It's a safety and integrity issue. Entering that building currently is unsafe.
The building, you have access to Chase's.
We do, because that evidence was uploaded to the cloud. It could be obtained by accessing it in the cloud. It didn't require entering the building.
That's the same thing for Early Tower.
Well, and if it is, we'll obtain that, and we may have folks working on that already. I'm not steeped enough in the day-to-day details of what's happening here to know. But if that is the case, that is something that we will seek, and I feel fairly confident that we'll be able to obtain that information. Again, this is very early in our investigation. This was our first full day.
That's why I'm concerned, because although it is very early, I'm aware of that. Like, but you still have cooperation with Chase Bank and Huntington, and whatever other source that you have, as you just mentioned.
And I don't want to suggest in any way that the building owners aren't also being cooperative, but we don't.
It sounds like that's the implication that you're making.
No, I'm not suggesting that at all. No. All of those involved in the investigation have been quite cooperative. It is early. We're still seeking a lot of that sort of evidence. I feel confident we'll obtain it, but I don't want to suggest in any.
We don't feel confident.
I understand that. I don't think you want to go in that. I don't think.
That you don't understand it. I'm doubting that you empathize with it.
Oh, of course we do. But
Not just you.
But we're not going in that building because it's not safe, and we don't want you going in that building until it's safe. So that's the concern here. We don't want to see any more injury or loss of life because of an unsafe condition in that building. So we are completely sympathetic with what you are going through, but we want to make sure that before anyone enters that building that it is safe to do so. Yes, ma'am.
Is it NTSB's role to look into how long the inactive gas line has been inactive, or maybe who forgot to shut off that line, for lack of better wording?
That is very much part of the investigation, and we hope to be able to determine that as part of our work, yes.
Last question.
Any others? Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank